we'll get started with questions from Brandon and then McLean.
Hey, Coach. I mean, obviously, you guys start out strong and have a strong opening quarter and a half, I guess. But kind of at the end of the fourth there, when you guys go 4 minutes or so, like without scoring. I mean, can you kind of pinpoint what kind of broke down in terms of your execution in the half court?
Well, I mean, you're right. I thought we started off well, and I thought we ended the game the same way we ended the second quarter, which was turning it over and not executing on the offensive end. And I mean, Tennessee's a really, really good team. Kelly's done an amazing job, putting them on the floor and getting them to play it. They're playing at a different level. They're playing the best basketball I've seen Tennessee play in a long time, and credit her for doing that. They have great chemistry. They've got talent at every position, and when you're playing an elite program, you can't have a lack of execution or turn it over. And I thought we did that. So I'm not going to say it's hard to say or pinpoint just one thing. I just thought we forced things that weren't there. And we did some things that we talked about all week long that weren't going to be available to us. And it was like in those moments, we forgot that and just did some things not playing smart. I thought our effort was great, and it was a fun game to be a part of. This was a great game to coach in and watch our players on both sides compete in. At the end of the day, you can't give Tennessee turnovers that turn into points, and you can't let them on the boards. And we were poor in both of those areas.
And then in terms of your guard play, I mean, Q kind of had her normal day, and Michaela and Sarah actually had some moments. But do you guys continue to feel comfortable, I guess, with kind of sharing those moments at the point guard spot in terms of who is like the main distributor of it, and what type of things do you guys want to see as a staff in terms of taking over that role, I suppose, here, continuing on.
Taking over what? What's the last part, Brandon?
So I'm just saying, like, in terms of like how Q and Michaela have taken over that guard role of being the main point guard. I mean, what type of things are you guys hoping to see out of them, I guess, in terms of running an offense?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm happy with what we have. I thought Reagan came in and did a great job for us and gave us some points. SA didn't score, but she was all over the place, hustling and making plays and rebounding the basketball, and she affected the game in that way. Q and Michaela are our workhorses on both ends of the floor. I'm pleased with what they're doing. I think Chloe comes in and gives us good minutes. And so really for us as a guard group, we want to get into our normal flow. And then once we sub, we're going to see who's playing the best. And that's going to be who gets the nod. Overall, it is in time and score situations, execution, doing the things that we've talked about, whether it's coming out of a timeout, coming out of halftime, or the things that we've worked on all week long. I think we all could be better in those areas and making sure that in games like this, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing to get the best shot available.
Thanks. That's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach, you talked about a little bit about how exciting, how special it was to play or to coach in this game and see your girls and Tennessee be involved in this game. What makes this game special, and what made today more special or more, competitive than other games this season?
Well, I'm not gonna say it's this is a game that when you walk into it, you know what it's gonna be like. It's just got a feel, but that's, in my opinion, every game we play in the SEC. I think this one just lately has become that. And then you go back over time and you talk about what Coach Landers did and what Pat did, and they were two of the grand old rivalry is Georgia Tennessee, and so we know that, they know that, and so it does have special value and special meaning. But I think you've got just two elite programs that are competing and putting everything on the line every time that we tip off against each other.
Kind of going off that, how do you keep the girls knowing that, while it is, the big game, there's a history there, everything, it's still just one SEC game, one, regular season SEC game, and not, overthinking it, thinking it's the game of the year?
Well, I don't think it's overthinking it. I think it's understanding our history and understanding the rivalry that is. I mean, there's several rivalries when you talk about Georgia and other teams. It's about, to me, the education of Tennessee, Georgia. Just like when we play Florida, there's an education of Georgia, Florida, right? So it's just about educating them, making them understand the history of women's basketball and of Georgia basketball as well.
And lastly, you talked about a little bit about Reagan coming in there, especially in the first half, being able to just confidently throw those threes up and hit them. How have you seen her improve from game one to now on the court?
She's a special player, and I'm excited for Georgia to continue to watch her. Our fans, like, she's going to be a phenomenal player for us. She's had her ups and downs, but she's somebody who can score at a high clip, at a 3-level score at that. This was a tough game to come into and kind of find her rhythm, and to do that against Tennessee was really, really good. I think it's going to give her some confidence and allow her to just continue to work and to get better.
All right, now we'll go to Charles Odom and then Maria Cornelius.
I'm sure you had seen the reports that Tamari Key was not able to practice this week and had been listed as questionable. How much did that affect your game planning, and did you expect to see her there at the opening tip?
Yes, we did. It didn't affect anything we were doing. We had no doubt that she would be out there at all.
Coach, I'm not sure ahead of schedule is the correct phrasing, but Tennessee, at least from my point of view, is better this year, the third season of Kelly, than I expected. Would you agree with that? And you played them twice last year in 2 games that literally went down to the last shot. What is the difference for Tennessee this season?
They look like they're having fun playing with each other, and they're playing hard. Tennessee has always been very, very talented. I think that at times in the past couple of years, you just never knew what Tennessee team was going to show up, right? If the right Tennessee team showed up, they could beat anybody in the country. And if the wrong Tennessee team showed up, maybe not. I'm not in their office every day. I'm not in their practice. I think Kelly and her staff do an amazing job. I just know when we play them, it's a competitive game and a tough game. The difference this year is that she's continued to bring in my opinion, players that her players, and they're playing hard for her. They play well. They have great chemistry, and they look like they're having a lot of fun out there.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate your answer.
All right, thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody.